Hello, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly reading, right? This is going to be for January 19th all the way up to the 25th. And let's get right into it and start off with Aries. All right, Aries, you're up. We're going to pull out your 3 romance angel messages. Then we'll get your animal spirits up. And then we will get your spread out, all right? So if you want to check out your 2020 Outlook readings for love and general outlook, they're linked in the description. If you want to get a private reading, you can follow the link at the top of your screen. International bookings, just go ahead and email me. Okay, if you have any trouble booking, just email me. If it has, you have issues with your telephone number or anything like that. It does happen with some countries, so I will just schedule you manually. All right, so Aries, let's see what's up for your week. This week. Straight out, we have very soon, reconciliation, and deception. Wow. All right, so a lot of energy there, right? Some different energy, really, right? Let's see what this all means for you. Let's pull out your animal spirits. We'll know more about these energies when we get into your spread. Now, animal spirits can represent individuals and people who are coming into your life, energies that's coming into your life, perhaps, right? That you're making, that are becoming available to you, rather. Stages in your life you might be entering into. So whatever the case is, excuse me, just take it as it applies to your situation. If it doesn't apply, then just let it go. It's not for you, all right? Let's see what kind of animal spirits Aries is walking with this week. Show me. All right. Hawk energy. Beautiful air. We have rabbit energy. Interesting. Doesn't come up often, the rabbit, but... And lamb energy. Very nice indeed. Lamb can really be an omen of a new child coming into your life, a baby. All right, so let's see what that all means. Let's start off with the hawk, right? The hawk is, of course, air energy, and the hawk is associated with the messenger of the divine. Oftentimes when hawk energy comes into your life, it tends to indicate that fate kind of has its eyes on you, and things are happening in a divinely led way. Also, that messages are coming in for you from the divine, from the spirit, to let you know how to move forward. The hawk is also associated with perspective, right? So the hawk is able to fly high enough to see the entire landscape or the entire picture of what's going on, and yet at the same time to be able to hone in on the details. And so whenever you're trying to get perspective on a situation, or perhaps you've lost your perspective, hawk energy is available to you to sort of regain it, right? To understand again what is supposed to happen and all of the details that are going to make it come about. Now, rabbit energy is earth energy, and the rabbit is very frightened, right? This energy is associated with a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear. The rabbit is always worried about the next sort of the next predator that's coming to gobble it up. It's like, oh, woe is me. This is the individual who oftentimes can be quite pessimistic, but it's only out of fear, right? And so it's interesting. Hawk energy is quite good to come in at a time like this, because oftentimes the rabbit's fear is because it has lost perspective on a situation, right? And if you're resonating with this feeling, it's time to sort of perhaps pull back from what you're doing or the environment you're in and try to get a bit more perspective so that you're not being so overwhelmed and fearful, basically, right? Now, lamb energy talks about, it's also earth energy, but the lamb energy is an energy that comes in when we are about to sort of bring something really beautiful into manifestation, something highly creative. Oftentimes, this can also be an omen of a baby, right? A baby coming in, a new life coming into your life, right? Or even if it is an adoption, right? Or taking on, the responsibility for children, right? And it's during this time, that Lamb energy requires a lot of sort of strong, earthy protection and nurturing, right? So this is a time to sort of really draw on those energies. Lamb energy can also indicate that there is a need to be still. And again, these cards are quite sort of compatible, because also when you are feeling sort of resonating with rabbit energy, in the sense that you're fearful right now, you might be anxious. Lamb energy is very good with that also, because the lamb is, the lamb reminds us to sort of be still, be calm, find a place, or a time in your day, and a place where you can just be on your own, perhaps meditate, or just allow your thoughts to sort of calm down, right? And it allows you then to sort of regain some of your strength and confidence. It can also allow you to regain some of your perspective, and that quiet, right? The quietness of it all, the calmness of it all can allow Hawk energy to come in to help you regain your perspectives. It's very good. So let's go ahead and pull out your spreads. Aries, these are going to be outlooks for your week. They are intended to be separate from each other. So you may only resonate with one of them or a portion of them, right? And that's fine. Again, not all readings are for all people. And certainly this reading will not be for all Aries out there. So let's just see what you may or may not be going through this week. Again, this is for January 19th to the 25th. All right. Judgment, Eight of Cups, Four of Wands. Judgment. So some of you are coming in this week with feeling of reconciliation. You have reconciliation as a message from the angels. Judgment is all about reconciliation. It's all about finding a time in your life, or coming into a time in your life where you begin to sort of relax some of your hypercriticism over yourself and over others. You begin to sort of be able to see a situation from multiple sides apart from your own. And the feeling of empathy begins to grow, and understanding, compassion, right? Realizing that sometimes things aren't just black and white, and sometimes we are over judgmental on people, and we're over judgmental on ourselves, right? And so this naturally then also brings a feeling of wanting to revisit an event, or wanting to revisit perhaps a union or a bond, and perhaps reconcile it a little bit, right? Maybe come to a better understanding. Now you're coming into the week with this energy, but you're met with an Eight of Cups, and this is quite interesting. The Eight of Cups is a feeling of sort of moving away from relationships that no longer sort of fulfill you. Moving away from relationships that don't give you the same energy that you've been pouring into them, where the level of engagement is quite, base. It's not elevated. And it feels strongly to me, right, that there's a particular union or a particular relationship that you are wanting to sort of revisit, right? But the outcome will be that you move away from it in any case. I feel like perhaps this other person that this relationship is with may not be as open to reconciliation as you are. Nevertheless, you trying it, or you at least, attempting to find an understanding with this person, this is still going to be for your betterment, right? It's still for your ultimate good, because this energy of understanding and empathy and compassion that's increasing. That's a good thing for you. That's a good thing for your soul and your spirit. It's allowing you to resonate higher, right? And sometimes when we come into a particular union with this feeling or with this spirit, The other person may not be willing to meet us halfway, but nevertheless, it's always worth trying, because ultimately, you're the person who benefits from having that kind of motivation, right? It's good for your soul. And I think you're going to find out that it's time to completely move away. But now that you move away from this connection, it will be without any regrets, right? Because you've done this part. It will be without any sort of feeling of you have, well, you'll be done with that feeling of I didn't try hard enough, This week, it's kind of going to come to a head. I think you're going to realize that, yes, you've done everything you can. And now it's time to just move away. You round out the week with a 4 of Wands, which is a new love interest. And this feels very much like for someone out there who has still been connected to someone in some way, and you needed to have this kind of closure. This feels like closure to me, right? And this closure is going to allow you to have room. It's going to allow you to make room or make a path for you to come to a new relationship. Because 4 of Wands is Venus and Aries energy, right? So it's all about a new beginning in love and beauty and understanding. It is the 1111 card. It is about finding a soulmate. But four of Wands is when you find somebody and their love and connection and respect is is mutual and equal, Someone who loves you as much as you love them. Someone who has the same level of respect for you as you have for them. And so it starts off with a really strong, stable base. However, this closure needs to happen first. And I think for some of you, this is going to be happening this week. Full energy, 10 of Swords, Ace of Cups. Once again, it's the same sort of feeling, Aries. You're coming in this week. Some of you are coming in this week with Fool energy. And so the Fool talks about really being ready to start a whole new life. Being ready to start a whole new path, a new journey. And in this case, oftentimes we talk about the Fool taking a leap of faith. The Fool also is... he's the one who sort of has learned something, Whenever the Fool comes in, right, we talk about starting a new path in life or a new stage, but you can't start a new stage in your life until truly start a new stage in your life until you have sort of finished with the previous stage, right? And that's all about learning. So the one thing we have to remember with the Fool is that he has learned something most recently. This ending to this last portion of your life, there were big lessons there that you learned, and you've made sort of a quantum leap in understanding, right? And experience and wisdom. But now, of course, you're starting a new path. And of course, when we start a new stage, we go right back to sort of being the student again, right? And this is the nature of sort of going up and down the tree of life. We ascend, we descend, we ascend, and we're always... we're always in flux between being the student, starting off, from the ground, base point in a particular area, learning what you needed to learn, resonating higher, and then going back down to the base point again in a new area. And this is what's happening for you. There is a little bit of faith that you need to have right now, a leap of faith. I think for some of you, it could very well be quite frightening. Rabbit energy is there. You may be feeling very anxious about this new stage. Nevertheless, it's going to be beautiful. This week, you're met with a 10 of Swords. This week, for some of you, I'm going to say this is the end of a relationship. Again, just like in the previous one, we were talking about closure. I think for some of you, you may be ending a strong relationship or a union or particular time in your life where you really had to experience a lot of pain. 10 of Swords is the end of suffering, right? But up until now, you have had a lot of sort of blows to the ego. You've been knocked down. You haven't had to pick yourself up, knocked down. Now we're talking about absolute finality to that. And the old you is dead. And this is part of 10 of Swords. This is why 10 of Swords is one of my favorite cards for completion, because not only is this stage of suffering over for you, and this is why I think for some of you, this may be a divorce or separation or just the ending of a very difficult relationship with someone. And I say it's a relationship because of this Ace of Cups, which I'll get to in just a second. But the ending also sort of marks the end of the old you. That figure lying there is symbolic of the ego. And this is a time when your ego has finally been sort of, the old ego rather, your old ego has been sort of smoked down, has been sort of completely decimated. And out of this rises a new ego. It rises a new you, right? And this new ego can't be hurt by the same things that were hurting it before. And so this is what we're talking about with Ten of Swords being a real sort of, again, a leveling up for you in a lot of ways, right? This stage is over. This horrible time, very difficult time, probably a lot of arguing, a lot of fighting, perhaps. It's over, right? And this week marks that. And of course, in comes an Ace of Cups, the opportunity for an outstanding sort of outpouring, a new love that is really strong, that is sort of just, aces are the essence of the suit. And so with the Ace of Cups, we talk about an opportunity coming into your life for sort of overwhelming love, possibility for overwhelming love. This could be a new relationship coming in. This could just also even be a new love for yourself, right? Having gone through this particular stage, right? And it's new for you anyway. So here we have two with the Fool and the Ace of Cups. It could very much be just a new sense of confidence and love for yourself in a lot of ways, because this was such a difficult time for you. Very nice, Aries. It really is. It is a feeling of very soon is here. So it's a feeling of really coming out of darkness, coming out of really troubled times and really coming into the light, and this is why I say it's not even necessarily that you're right away going to find a new partner or a new union. I feel like this Ace of Cups is really the confidence and the love for yourself that may have been sort of smothered while you were going through this stage. It's going to come for you. It's going to outpour for you. And you're going to sort of really emerge into sort of a stage in your life where the sun is shining for you. King of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. All right. This is your last spread. King of Wands. Some of you are coming into this week with a vision for yourself, a vision for your future. This is certainly going to be in the area of your career or your business. The King of Wands is strong. He's very independent. He's very unique, right? He follows his vision. He follows his vision that is with all of his passion, right? So whatever he's going after, it's something he feels very, very passionate about. Something that's very close to his heart. Even if it is in the area of career, right? It's something that, it's not like just punching a 9-to-5, card, you know what I mean? It's not just like, just getting a new job. It's getting the job he wants to have, the job he feels good about, right? Or following a path in his career that he feels passionate about. He has wisdom, right? And he understands how to sort of look to the future. He understands how to have purpose. He understands how to maintain his goal and his vision until he accomplishes it. It's very nice energy. I think for some of you, it's going to be like a beginning of sort of real high level inspiration coming in for you. And in any case, you are absolutely determined, right? You come into this week with this energy and you're met with an Ace of Pentacles, which is very nice. The opportunity comes in this week for you to manifest this vision. And that's why I say this is going to be to do with your career or business because of this Ace of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles. And something's going to happen for you this week, certainly an event or perhaps a meeting, a discussion that's really going to blast open the door for you. This great opportunity coming in. It's an opportunity for a high level of abundance coming in, increased wealth, certainly. You round the week off with Queen of Pentacles energy, which is And it's really, really nice. And it's interesting because you start off the week with your vision and your goal, but by the end of the week, you absolutely know exactly what steps you need to take to manifest it, because that's what the Queen of Pentacles is all about. She also is, Queens being associated always with water and therefore the emotions. The Queen of Pentacles understands that to manifest anything in the material world, even if it is like your career, your business, right? You have to put your heart into it, right? You have to put your whole heart into it. Your emotional side into it, right? And she knows this, right? And she almost, you can see that she's looking at the pentacle almost as if it's her baby, her child, right? And this can also harken back to Lamb energy. For some of you, this could very well be sort of the beginning or the birth of a very new sort of creative path in your career. Therefore, you feel so passionate about it because it speaks to your creative side. But again, by the end of the week, you're all over it. Like, you know exactly how you want to now move forward, right? You're manifesting that in a real practical way. And certainly you are completely sort of committed now to this path in terms of you are emotionally sort of tied in, right? You're invested, you're emotionally invested. You will gain perspective with Hawk energy. And I think, again, you're going to understand the nature with Lamb energy. You're going to understand the nature that it's something new beginning, right? With this ace, so it's going to require nurturing, protection, right? All of the things that we associate with taking care of a new life, right? Well, a new creative manifestation is the same way, especially if it's in its infancy, it's only just starting. We have to protect it. We have to protect that, everything about it, that so that it actually comes into being the way we want it to come into being. And you have everything you need by the end of the week in terms of understanding, emotional connection, and investment to get the job done. All right, Aries, this is your reading, January 19th to the 25th. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some clarity for your situation. Please go ahead and follow those links at the top of your screen if you want to get a private reading. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video if you resonated with it, if you like my reading. Go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section. I do reply to all of those. And don't forget to check out the other links that are also in the description for your other videos, your 2020 love outlook, your 2020 general outlook, and also your January monthly love outlook. All right, guys, but for right now, Aries, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.